Well, hello and welcome back, my Battle Language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language guy, and we are on another live, taken right where we were yesterday. Taking off from yesterday, we were reading Valentine Low's excerpts from his upcoming book, Courtiers, which is gonna be on the UK, hitting the UK shelves on October 6th, and I will be reading it first day that 6th. I already pre-ordered that, but we will be reading these excerpts, and we have this out of the blue excerpt today. We were reading the one that was out yesterday. We're going to complete that reading today, but we also have this new excerpt that tells a lot about the state of the Harkles and their attitude with their staff. And it doesn't, I'm going to, spoil it a bit. It doesn't say nice things about Harry. So, California, Switzerland, Hong Kong, Canada, Northern California, Mexico. This is impressive. Tennessee, Illinois, Japan, oh nice, Scotland, Missouri, oh, Bellatrix from the Azkaban prison, hello Bellatrix, so many Battle Language buddies here right now. Thanks for being here. Remember, all you have to do is just hit the like button. I will be looking at your comments as much as I can. Well, I'm talking, but if you send a super chat, I will be reading your super chat at the end of this video. Any question, any comment, anything that you want to say, if you want to say nice things to me, that's great. As long as it is with this with my channel, how to say that. With my channel guidelines of respect and such, well, I will be reading and highlighting that. I will be reading your comments and commenting on them too. San Francisco, Los Angeles, Paris, Chicago is here too, Minnesota, New York. This is great. Let's begin. We have this. This is the extract on the Sunday Times. Harry, Meghan, and the Sussex Survivors Club. We were played. Put upon palace aides insist they tried to help the Duke and Duchess and handled a string of PR disasters, which I guess that the Montecito duo is no strange to them, but the couple ditched them anyway, reveals Valentine Low in our second extract from this book. So let's begin. I thought that Harry had I'm not gonna say what I was thinking. I'm gonna begin. Let's start here. It is normally a standard part of a royal tour, the moment when the royals venture to the back of the plane where the media sit to say hello and have a chat. But the tour of the South Pacific by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in 2018 was different. It had started with a bang, with the announcement that Meghan was pregnant. Oh my God, that kind of things, Meg. And the couple had proved extremely popular in Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and Tonga. Nevertheless, Harry had looked out of sorts. Like normal Harry in the past, 6 years. His relations with the media pack had been prickly and strained, where Meghan smiled, always putting on her best face whenever she was on show. Harry glowered. On the 5-hour flight back from Tonga to Sydney, his press handlers promised that he would come and thank the media for being there. Oh, thanks for being here, the media, It was only after the plane had landed that the couple finally appeared. This is good. This is my favorite part. I remember the scene well. Harry looked like a sulky teenager. Meghan stood behind him, smiling benignly. Her only contribution was a comment about how much everyone must be looking forward to Sunday lunch at home. Harry sounded rushed, as if he couldn't wait to get back into the first class cabin. "Thanks for coming," he said, "even though you weren't invited." Oh, what a gentleman. How classy, Harry. How classy of you, speaking like that. He really did not want to be there. We know that. This was spectacularly rude and incorrect. The media had been invited to cover the tour. Later, Harry's staff told him how badly his remarks had gone down. He replied, "Well, you shouldn't have made me do it." What? What a spoiled brat. And we're talking about 2018. 2018, and Harry was acting like this. What was going on with him? Harry's petulant behavior revealed much about the couple's deteriorating relationship with their own staff. So bad did things eventually become that Harry and Meghan's team would later refer to themselves as the Sussex Survivors Club. I should make a shirt about that, Sussex Survivors. I'm a Sussex survivor. The core member were Sam Cohen, whom the Queen had personally asked to step in the Queen had personally asked to step in as private secretary, and who worked for the couple from after their wedding until the end of their South Africa tour in September 2019. That man stood the test of time. Sarah Latham, the former Fruits PR managing partner, hired in 2018 to be in charge of communications, and assistant press secretary Marnie Gaffney. Sources say, the team came up with a damning epithet for Meghan, a narcissistic sociopath. I'm going to say this. That is not very creative, but it's very effective and precise. A narcissistic sociopath. They also reportedly said on repeated occasions, "We were played." How many people would have said this about being with Meghan or working with Meghan? We were played. Yeah, Harry is loco. The Sussex Diva Club. Oh, they worked with what they had. Yes, they couldn't do much more. Diamond earrings with an ugly provenance. Despite being aware of tension in the air, none of the media on the plane realized quite what was going on behind the scenes on that South Pacific tour. One key incident that sheds light on the relationship between Meghan and her closest aides occurred in Fiji, when Harry and Meghan attended a state dinner hosted by President Giorgi Conrote, to which the Duchess wore an eye-catching pair of chandelier diamond earrings. Kensington Palace told the press they had been loaned, but refused to say from whom. The reason for this reticence would not become apparent until more than 2 years later. The earrings had been given to the Duchess as a wedding present by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. It was a bit uncomfortable to reveal. On October 2, shortly before the start of the tour, the journalist and dissident Jamal Khashoggi was murdered in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. The event became a major news story, with accusations that the Crown Prince had personally ordered the killing. The idea that Meghan would then, at a state occasion, wear earrings given to her by a man accused of having blood on his hands was surprising, to say the very least. Meghan's staff were bemused that she should wear them. The Kensington Palace briefing that the earrings were loaned was misleading. But who was responsible? Cohen told colleagues at the time that the earrings had been borrowed from the jeweler Chopard. It was not true. They had to lie to cover up for what Meghan was doing. You know that these people were putting their reputation on the line for Meghan. 3 weeks later, Meghan gave the earrings a second outing at Buckingham Palace at a 70th birthday party for Charles, then Prince of Wales. At that time, Cohen still appeared to be under the impression that they had been loaned by Chopard. However, others knew the truth. When they had first appeared in the media after the Fiji dinner, staff in London, responsible for registering details of all royal gifts, had recognized them and alerted Kensington Palace. A source said, "We made a decision not to confront Meghan and Harry on it out of fear for what their reaction would be." These people knew that this was a PR nightmare, that if this was known to the public, it will be a shitstorm. And even so, they were afraid to talk directly to Meghan and Harry because of any repercussions, because of the reaction. Like, you're going to be affected by this. But I think their staff knew deep inside that Meghan and Harry did not care about this, and the staff were going to get into much more trouble directly if they just confronted them about that. Oh, right. Yeah, we need to create gear for Sussex Survivors Club. I'm going to make a design myself about that. Revealed that this very weekend. After the Duchess wore the earrings for a second time, highlight this, an aide decided to take it up with Harry. Very good. He said to have looked shocked that people knew where the earrings came from. What? Regular Harry. Although the Sussex's lawyers deny he was ever questioned about their provenance. Oh my God, this people had no clue. In February 2021, Meghan's lawyers, Schillings, said, at no stage did the Duchess tell staff that the earrings were borrowed from a jeweler, as this would have been untrue, and therefore any suggestion that she encouraged them to lie to the media is baseless. 2 days later, Schillings said, the Duchess is certain that she never said the earrings were borrowed from a jeweler. It is possible she said the earrings were borrowed, which is correct, as presents from heads of state to the royal family, from heads of state to the royal family are gifts to Her Majesty the Queen, who can then choose to lend them out to members of the family. But that is not convincing. And this is important. If the earrings were loaned by the Queen, the staff would have said so. It would have been a record. So, like, Meghan was doing whatever she wanted from the start, and no one in normal conversation would ever have referred to them as being loaned. They were a wedding gift for Meghan. So much trouble. I think yes. I think that Meghan has this cloak of, we don't want to repeat the same mistakes with that we made with Diana, so they let Meghan get away with many things. I mean, the royal family, the firm, let Meghan get away with many things. Say, well, maybe she will eventually come to her senses, but it was not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Meghan's lawyers also argued that she had no idea about Sheikh Mohammed's involvement in Khashoggi's murder. However, Meghan once told a gathering for International Women's Day that she read The Economist because she sought out journalism that's really covering things that are going to make an impact. Between mid-October and early November 2018, The Economist ran at least 2 articles examining the role of Sheikh Mohammed in Khashoggi's murder. So either She was lying about that, about reading The Economist. You can imagine Meghan reading The Economist. I don't picture her she reading The Economist, not at all. I picture her reading Twitter to find out what is people talking about her. Yeah, that's what she does all day long with her shadow accounts. Or she just did not pay attention. She just didn't care about the Khashoggi's murder. All right. Insane. Nice word for the Harkles. Insane row with a women's rights group. That was not the only time in Fiji when the public narrative did not match what was going on behind the scenes. While the couple were in the capital, Suva, the Duchess paid an official visit to a market, I remember that anecdote, to see a project run by UN Women to improve the lot of women working there. She was due to spend 15 minutes meeting women there. 15 minutes. That is a Peppa Pig episode, or a bit over a Peppa Pig episode. 15 minutes. I don't know. However, after just 8 minutes, an actual Peppa Pig episode, she was rushed out. The Kensington Palace press office was sent into a panic, with sources initially claiming that she had left early because of security fears. That was later changed to concerns about crowd management issues. No, I think she said, "Oh, I don't like being here. I don't like these women. I don't like this. Howie, get me out of here. I don't like this." Peppa Pig, more like Peppa Pig Porky Pies, the Lady Dragon Strike. You're always on point. Always on point. Howie, get me out of here. Another reason for her premature departure did not emerge until 2 years later, when I was told that it was because Meghan was concerned about the presence of the UN Women group, which she had previously worked with. The Duchess had earlier told her staff that she would go only if there was no UN Women branding, a source said. I wonder why. That is interesting. Before Meghan arrived at the market, staff did their best to reduce the visibility of the group. Meghan, why were you so afraid to bump into the UN Women? What are you hiding? However, footage of the visit shows Meghan surrounded by women in blue tops bearing the UN Women logo. At one point, the Duchess, with a fixed smile, can be seen whispering to a member of staff who grimaces. Meghan told an aide, "I can't believe I've been put in this situation." Moments later, she was ushered out. A staffer remarked at the time, "That's insane. She is nuts." I have to highlight it. That is insane. She is nuts. This is great. This is great. How can I tell you this? This is great. That's insane. She is nuts. What's wrong with this woman? Why is she so concerned of being around UN women? What's the rift with them? One stallholder said, it is such a shame. We started preparing for the visit 3 weeks ago, but she left without even saying hello. Afterwards, the staff member to whom Meghan spoke at the market was seen sitting in an official car, tears streaming down her face. This was, I don't know. I hope they were taking strong stuff to withstand working with this woman. The coverage, including the headline, "Pregnant Duchess rushed from marketplace as crowds closed in," caused massive consternation within Scotland Yard. The Metropolitan Police suggested flying out an officer to ensure she was being protected properly, despite private assurances from Kensington Palace that the incident had nothing to do with security. It had nothing to do with security. It had all to do with, what Meghan doesn't want to do, Meghan will not do. It's like the opposite of what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. You know that there's an exact opposite, like Sir Isaac Newton laws. So, the Duchess's head of security resigned from the Met a few months later. Why did the Duchess now appear to want to distance herself from UN Women? You might be asking, and I am asking myself this. I haven't read this stuff. The reason is not known. In 2015, when she was an actress in Suits, Meghan had accepted an invitation to be a UN Women advocate for women's political participation and leadership. But, when she wanted to make me an activist, make me a humanitarian, I want to be what. But, by 2018, she appeared to be less happy to be associated with the group. Her lawyers told the Times in 2021, this is completely false. The Duchess is a keen supporter of UN Women and has never objected to their branding. The only reason the Duchess was evacuated from the event was due to safety concerns. This was a decision made by her head of security. She met with other leaders from UN Women later in the South Pacific tour. Now, my body language buddies, I'm pleased to say that we are close to 7,000 body language buddies watching right now. And statistics tell me that at least a handful of you might be aware, might know the answer. That reason. Why did the Duchess now appear to want to distance herself from UN Women? Something tells me that a handful of you, maybe 4 or 5 of you, for 7,000, know the answer to this. And have been afraid to say this. And of course, you're not going to say that in the comments. Maybe you never comment. That's okay. But you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram, especially on Twitter. I am much more active on Twitter. And drop me that insight in there. I promise to keep you anonymous. I promise to keep you in the shadows. I promise to just, have the insight, reveal the insight to the world as maybe even as a blind gossip. Why not? But I'm sure that there must be at least 4 or 5 of you that know for a fact, that have first-hand experience of what is going on in here, what went on in here. It's statistically not impossible or possible that you are here watching this live and you know the answer. So go to my Twitter account. You can see it in the ticker. Right there is the ticker entering. Follow me on Twitter, Kinesics and Just, or on my email too. On my email also can help. Okay, there's someone in. Please, my beautiful mods, just blast anyone that is wreaking havoc in the chat. You have my permission to just delete any comments. If they are especially stupid, let me know so I can just block them. Okay? Thanks for that. All right, let me just check here. If I spot them, just okay. Perfect. She shunned the help she was offered. 2 years later, Meghan's narrative would once again be at odds with the memories of those who once worked with her. In her famous interview with Oprah Winfrey in March 2021, Meghan takes pains to highlight the difference between the Queen and those who surrounded her. In Meghan's account, they were the people who refused to help when she was in her hour of greatest need. They were the ones who perpetuate falsehoods about her. No, Meghan, point on the finger, doing this, such and such. Watching Megan describe how she considered ending her life in the year after her marriage was an uncomfortable experience, and yet a succession of perfectly decent people, all of whom believed in Megan and wanted to make it work, came to be so disillusioned that they began to suspect that even her most heartfelt pleas for help were part of a deliberate strategy that had one end in sight: her departure from the royal family. Because it seems that even Megan was so insecure that she couldn't just leave like that. No, she had to make a mess out of this. They believe she wanted to be able to say, look how they failed to support me. Because you can just go away. You have to make yourself a victim, a professional victim, such as pretty much as Howie, and go with a bang. Yeah, bollocks. Complete bollocks. Sam Cohen, who had 17 years experience of working at the palace, would frequently say to Edward Young, the Queen's private secretary, and Clive Alderton, Charles' private secretary, that if it all went wrong, the palace needed evidence of the duty of care it had shown to Harry and Meghan. The duty of care was crucial. Sam was a broken record with them on that, said a source. Like Sam knew that this was going down the drain, that he was going to end in the gutter, but he wanted to make sure that everyone knew that his reputation was intact, that he did everything by the book, and he did everything right, and it was just not possible to deal with this pair, with this couple of narcissists. And it's impossible. You will never be able to win. You will never be able to please them. Your life will be miserable. There's no way around that with this kind of people. But by the time of the Oprah interview, everything the palace had done to support the couple, including giving them a team that would have done anything to help them succeed, was forgotten. It didn't matter. Instead, Meghan was able to point out all the times the institution had failed her. One of them was when she says she went to the head of human relations, where she was given a sympathetic hearing but sent on her way. This was inevitable. HR is there to deal with employee issues, not members of the royal family. Meghan would presumably have known that, so what was she doing there? Laying a trail of evidence would be the cynical answer. I'm going to go here and say such and such, so I can have proof that I came here and said such and such, even if it doesn't make any sense. Another former staff member goes even further. Everyone knew that the institution would be judged by her happiness, they say. The mistake they made, I'm going to backtrack on that. This is so wrong. Everyone knew that the institution would be judged by her happiness. This is insane. This is insanity. This judgment based on someone's happiness, even if he's a sane and healthy person, it should not be this way. It is wrong, because you don't know when the person can I don't know, have human reactions, naturally human behaviors at some point. Maybe they're not happy at some point, and you can just measure the effectiveness of the institution by one person or their happiness, much less their happiness. The mistake they made was thinking that she wanted to be happy. She wanted to be rejected because she was obsessed with that narrative from day one. This is impossible. You cannot do this. This is the most toxic type of individual. The one that is setting up everything to fail, that needs everyone and everything to fail for her own gain. This will be impossible to deal with. I have been asked this question many times. Can you actually learn how to deal with a narcissist? No, you can't. If your boss is a narcissist, the best that you can do is to figure out how can you I'm not gonna talk about Harry. Like, if you don't like your job, just quit. I know that it's not that simple, but it's not like you will ever be able to handle a narcissistic boss. You can't. They will destroy your mental health. So you have the duty, you have the responsibility of getting out, going to another department, or going to another area in the same company maybe, or just finding another job. I know it's not the right time to say this, but I don't want to give you false hopes. Okay, it is not possible. Any narcissist will wear you down, will suck the life out of you. It's a lost cause. Never think, oh, maybe I can deal with this, maybe we can. No. It is not possible. I know that will be irresponsible from me to say that you just need to find another job. I know it's not that simple, but I have to warn you that there's no way to effectively deal with a narcissist long term. It is not good for your mental health. It is not good for any of your health, your spiritual health, your physical health, anything. Even your other relationships with other people are going to be strained because of that. So you have to think about that. 7,000 body language buddies officially right now. Remember to hit the like button. That's all you have to do. All your super chats I will be reading at the end of this live. Monetizing Mexit and ditching loyal staff. In the view of another insider, one of Meghan's concerns was whether she was going to be able to earn money for herself given her position in the royal family. What? Although Meghan was not making money out of the deals her US agents were negotiating at the time, she did the voiceover for a Disney wildlife documentary in return for a charitable donation. You know that when Harry, the premiere of The Lion King, went to Bob Iger, and within seconds of having said hi, you know that she does voice acting. It's the I don't know, the worst attitude you can have with a person that you're just meeting for the first time at a premiere publicly. Do you know this couple is crass. It's no other word. I like that word for them. Crass. Some suspected that in the end she wanted to make money, and she still wants to make money. Rest assured. And the only way she could do that was by leaving her royal life behind and going back to America. Oh yes. Did Young and Alderton grasp the issue that? Wait a second. Here. Did John and Alderton grasp the issue that was confronting them before it was too late? It seems not. When Jason Knopf, the Sussex's then communications secretary, wrote to Simon Case, Prince William's private secretary, making an allegation that Meghan had been bullying staff in October 2018, Case passed it on to the head of HR, Samantha Carothers, who was based at Clarence House. But Clarence House sources have always insisted that it never crossed Alderton's desk. Oh, this is shady. This is the things that many people say about the firm. That there are things about the firm that we don't understand. Why did they just shelve those bullying accusations? I think that's wrong. I think that should be known, especially so it will be understood the real nature of Harry and Meghan fast with an official pronunciation about this. But who knows, is after the Queen's passing, this could change in the near future. Part of the problem, according to the one source, was that everyone in the palace was too gentle and civil. When someone decides not to be civil, they have no idea what to do. They were run over by her and then run over by Harry. By the way, this reminds me that I was listening to Jordan Peterson and Robert Greene talking the other day, the podcast, an excellent conversation they had. And Jordan Peterson was mentioning the situation that, imagine this, you have a group of that where every single person is agreeable, is high on agreeableness. Okay, they're straight. They will get along really well. They will cooperate for everything. They will, well, be a great team. But the moment you insert one sociopath or psychopath in that mix, that person will take over everything, which is exactly what is happening here. And that is the problem. And all this group of highly agreeable people will not have the tools, will not know what to do in this case. I see that that's exactly what is happening in here, or what happened in here. This situation was not helped by Harry and Meghan's deteriorating relationship with Alderton and Young. As things started to go wrong, a source told royal biographer Robert Lacey, Meghan came to perceive Young as the inflexible, bureaucratic figure who summed up what was wrong with Buckingham Palace mentality, and the feeling was mutual. Young really came to dislike Meghan's style. Well, who doesn't? Harry was just as dismissive of the two senior courtiers as Meghan. An insider said he used to send them horrible emails. So rude. They're talking about Harry. When Harry and Meghan went to Canada for their 6-week break in November 2019, their escape plans were already laid amid the greatest secrecy. Meghan would not even tell their nanny, Lauren, where they were going. According to one source, she did not know where they were going until the plane, a private jet, was in the air. Isn't this human trafficking? This is a legit question. Is this human trafficking or what? Oh my God! Can you imagine working for this stuff? Like being a private plane with this too? Shortly before the end of the year, Meghan confided in a member of her staff that the couple were not coming back. The rest of the team did not find out until they held a meeting at Buckingham Palace at the beginning of January 2020. They found it hard to accept they were being dumped just like that. Some of them were in tears. It was a very loyal team, said one. This is an edited extract from Courtiers: The Hidden Power Behind the Crown by Valentine Lowe, published by Headline on October 6. And we're going to pick up exactly where we were yesterday. Was here. We were reading the other extract. This is way longer. I don't know if we will have enough time. I also want to read your super chats, but we can move on. What we have here is an insight, a deep insight of what was going behind closed doors with their staff, and what this staff had to withstand with these two narcissistic sociopaths, in their own words, and as Valentine Lowe is putting on paper. I don't think Meghan and Harry will have the leverage, the legal leverage, to sue Valentine Lowe. And well, if they couldn't even say anything about Tom Bower's Revenge, which in October is also being published in the USA with new chapters, well, I'm sure that they will not have the leverage to sue in this case. So before we continue, let me what bit? All right, talking about Wally Simpson, talking about the children's titles. Okay. All right. We were left. Well, I'm going to reread this part. Compounding. This was from yesterday. We were talking about all this stuff and what was really happening with, Harry and Meghan and their staff. Compounding Harry's frustration was a long-held fear that his time was running out and that once Prince George turned 18, he would become irrelevant. It was crazy. You remember that we were talking yesterday about now you see Harry's interactions with George in a different light. Like Harry was actually envious of George to a huge extent, because according to Harry, in his twisted mind, the moment George turned 18, Harry would become irrelevant. What? I mean, what? And why? Jealous of his own nephew. How can this be? Is my question. I don't know. He had this thing that he had a shelf life. He was fixated on this. He would compare himself with his uncle, Prince Andrew. He would say, I have this time to make this impact because I can. Until George turns 18, was the way he was thinking about it. Then I will be the also ran. He was genuinely thinking of it as, I have this platform now for a limited amount of time. I want to move forward. Boy, his staff assured him he was a very different person from Prince Andrew. They told him, you can still have an impact in your 40s, 50s, even longer, so long as you set the right foundations now. But he never saw that. And it's again, as I've been telling you, that we see Harry over and over again getting advice, getting real advice. Like people around him tell him what he should do, from William to everyone else. And Harry just did not listen to anybody. So it's not like he's innocent. He's, poor boy, I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me. Like, Bohemian Rhapsody. But no, it's like he had the people to tell him, he had the possibilities, he had the means, he had all the connections, he had everything to just pick himself up by the bootstraps, look for any kind of help, and he didn't. He did not care. He did not want to improve. He did not want to get better. He just wanted a cop out. He just wanted a reason to do whatever as he pleased. He is, totally a brat. There's no way around this. Harry's obsession with the media, his sense of frustration, mistrust of palace courtiers, and the constant loyalty tests of his own staff were all there before Meghan. But after Meghan turned up, it got significantly worse. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. Even if we saw Harry with a different attitude before knowing Meghan, maybe in 2014, 2015, there was there was already this tensions with his staff, with his attitude towards all this, towards his own family, towards his nephew, a child. How can someone be so vile? It's one thing in common. Meghan and Harry, both of them are spoiled brats, absolutely, in their own way. No sooner was Harry's relationship with Meghan made public in October 2016 that the massive invasion Harry had feared began. Faced with hordes of journalists intent of trolling through every aspect of Meghan's life, Harry became determined to protect his girlfriend. Meghan, meanwhile, told him that if he did not do something about it, she will break off the relationship. What? Yeah, that is true love. That is true love. What do you think? Is that true love? What do you think about this? Oh my God. What can I tell you? Okay. I already blocked someone that was wreaking havoc in my chat. I'm looking at your comments. Thanks, my mods, for bringing that to my attention. Thank you. Just mention, I will look for them and ban them. They will never ever come here ever again. You will never see my lives again. It's like Johnny Depp to Amber. You will never see my lives, or at least comment. You can see my lives. You can still see my lives, but you cannot comment anymore. All right, she will break off the relationship. A source said she was saying, if you don't put out a statement confirming I'm your girlfriend, I'm going to break up with you. Gosh, that is cringe. Harry was in a panic. Another source said he was freaking out, saying she's going to dump me. What a pathetic simp. What a pathetic shadow. Silly shadow of a man. She's going to dump me. I don't know. I don't know. How come? I want to make sense of this. How come a man that could date... How many women do you think Harry could have dated in 1 month if he wanted to? Like one a day? 1, 2 a day? Harry would have snapped his fingers and he would have dated anyone that he would have like two. It's that simple. And he was worried that Meghan, he was freaking out that one woman was going to dump him. Or I don't know. I don't know if it's Meghan was had already played her juju, her sorcery on Harry. It's the only way. Why would a man in Harry's position have such attitude? That is not attractive for any woman. That is not sexy or attractive or masculine or anything. That's just a simp. He must be real bad in, well, the horizontal lambada. Yes, we don't know. Yeah, the brujería. Es la brujería de Meghan. Estaba haciendo su brujería a Harry desde el principio. Harry turned to Jason Knopf, the bright young American who was recruited by Kensington Palace in 2015 to be the communications secretary for the Cambridges and Prince Harry. His previous role had been running the communications for the crisis-hit Royal Bank of Scotland. He loved working for William and Kate and Harry. Harry phoned Knopf, demanding that he put out a statement confirming that Meghan was his girlfriend and condemning the racist and sexist undertones of some of the media coverage. Meghan wanted public validation. Oh, this is important. This is what we said yesterday. Meghan wanted public validation as a narcissist. A narcissist will always want public validation of their worth, public validation of their humbleness, public validation of their charity efforts, everything. Now, this was a serious relationship. She was convinced that the palace was unwilling to protect her from media intrusion. She told Harry's staff, "I know how the palace works. I know how this is going to play out. You don't care about the girlfriend." I need to highlight this because we were talking about yesterday about, can you imagine Meghan talking like this to one of the palace aides I know how the palace works, how entitled, how bully, how pushy, Princess Pushy. I know how this is going to play out. You don't care about the girlfriend. Now, I think Meghan from the get-go had more balls than Harry. Yeah, there's no question about it. Meghan had more balls than Harry. This, however, was just the beginning. Oh my God. Keeping Meghan happy, and by extension, keeping Harry happy, was an ongoing challenge. Harry's staff knew that Meghan was different from other royal girlfriends. She had her own opinions and would let people know what they were. In the spring of 2017, more than 6 months before the couple were engaged, she told one of Harry's advisors, "I think we both know I'm going to be one of your bosses soon." What the actual fuck? I have to say this. This is highlighted. And you know that Valentine Lowe is not gonna get sued because this must be true. More than 6 months before the couple were engaged, she told one of Harry's advisors, "I think we both know I'm gonna be one of your bosses soon." And she must have done this, this movement, like camera. One of your bosses soon. All right? You understand that? And this thing. One of your bosses soon. That movement. I'm gonna spray my neck. I need to oil my neck first. One of your bosses soon. Yeah, you know that movement. That gesture, there has no meaning. There has no meaning, direct, intrinsic meaning in body language. But you know which moment is that. There was also a lot riding on Meghan. The palace knew it could not afford to repeat the mistakes that were made with Princess Diana. Before the wedding, Meghan had a meeting with Miguel Head, William's private secretary, who told her that the palace would do everything they could to help. There was no need to think that she had to take on her new role in a particular way. Meghan thanked Head and said she wanted to concentrate on her humanitarian and philanthropic work and to support Harry as a member of the royal family. As one source said, the entire place, because of everything about her and because of what Harry's previous girlfriends had been through, was bending over backwards to make sure that every option was open. It's like they did not want to mess anything up. The problem is it was Meghan, and Meghan wanted people to mess up. That was her plan all along. Sir David Manning, former ambassador to the US who was William and Harry's foreign affairs advisor, also put his mind to thinking about how Meghan might fit into the royal family and what married life could look like for them. It's like he wanted this to work. However, the couple's sense of frustration and their suspicion of the palace establishment was already causing problems. Like, they didn't want to cooperate. Harry and Meghan wanted things their own way, and they wanted things in a disruptive way so that they could say at the end, well, everybody hated us. Nobody wanted to cooperate with us. We wanted to be humanitarian. We wanted to do the right thing. Bollocks. That never happened. They did not want to do that. It was the opposite. They wanted this to fail. They want to blame everyone at the palace because they knew Harry must have told Meghan, nobody is going to complain here. Nobody's gonna ask for explanation here. Nobody's going to be accuse us here. This never happens in here. These people works for us. We can do whatever we please. I'm sure that at some point Harry told Meghan something like this. And it's despicable. It's something like you have these two people that could have done so many things and have been the more self-absorbed, I have to say, members of the royal family in a long time. And here we are, an archetypical example of a narcissistic couple, borderline sociopathic, or could be a full sociopathic, that made so many people's lives miserable. It's that simple and sad at the same time. An early issue was security. In the immediate period after her arrival in London, there was no straightforward mechanism for providing Meghan with full-time police protection, especially at a time when the palace was trying to slim down the level of security provided to members of the royal family. Such matters were decided by a Home Office committee called the RAVEC, the Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures, which, you know, is part of this legal tantrum that Harry has about wanting full-fledged security and paying for police security, which is not that simple. I have a video explaining how that works and why Harry just cannot pay for police security anytime. Even if he had all the money in the world, it doesn't work like that. I have a video explaining that. Harry's private secretary at the time, Elaine Fox, a former captain in the Blues and Royals who joined Harry's close-knit team in 2013, argued Meghan needed to be protected immediately. Ed had to wage a huge battle to get them to understand that she would not be able to live her life without police protection. Meghan had no idea that this was even happening, because we did not want her to have another reason to think that she wasn't going to be welcome. Ed did amazing things for her behind the scenes, but none of them was really appreciated. And if you work for a narcissistic boss, yeah, you know how this sentence might ring painstakingly true. Ed did amazing things for her behind the scenes, but none of them was really appreciated. To Harry and Meghan, the 2 months that it took to get a decision about her security seemed like an age. They felt as if the powers that were simply unwilling to provide her with the security she needed, because everything was about them. Yes, we're talking about emotional blackmail. You're right, Catherine. So many red flags in the early stages. This time, at the Queen's request, the Lord Chamberlain, Earl Peel, the most senior figure in the household, went to see the couple to explain to Meghan how the palace works. Hey, this is how the palace works, you know? I'm going to lay out all the things. Let's bring some puppets and make the puppets talk and explain this in a way that you can understand. He recalled, I liked her, actually. She was very forthright, very, very polite, very understanding. She wanted to learn. Interesting. However, relations between Meghan and the team at Kensington Palace were fraying fast. In late 2017, after the couple's engagement was announced, a senior aide discreetly raised with the couple the difficulties caused by their treatment of staff. People needed to be treated well and with some understanding, even when they were not performing to Harry and Meghan's standards, they suggested. Meghan was said... Oh my God. Meghan was said to have replied, "It's not my job to coddle people." What? It's, I don't know. Class act. How has to say? Compassion in action? Bullshit. Compassion in action, my arse. Yes. Meanwhile, she wasn't dealing with the more junior staff, even people whom William and Kate and Harry, before Meghan came along, had been quite happy to engage with. It seemed that she wanted respect, and having to talk to someone a bit further down the pecking order in a small office where there wasn't much of a pecking order wasn't treating her with respect. She would take it as an insult, believes one source. Oh my God, this is impressive. This runs a lot more, but we have seen so much so far. It's incredible how rude they were. Let me see if there's some kind of pause in here. Okay, we can read up to this tiny line in here. I'm gonna go back so we don't leave the chapters like hanging. Organizing the wedding was particularly stressful. There were rows about scheduling the wedding announcements, the gospel choir, and most famously the tiara. In the months before the wedding, Meghan was told that the Queen would lend her tiara for the big day, just as she had done for Kate Middleton 7 years earlier. An appointment was made in February for Meghan to look at a short list of appropriate tiaras at Buckingham Palace. Accompanied by Harry and under the watchful eye of Angela Kelly, the Queen's dresser, who is also curator of the Queen's jewelry, Meghan opted for Queen Mary's diamond bandeau tiara. All right. Meghan then needed to make sure that her hairdresser had an opportunity to rehearse with it before the day itself. Unfortunately, on the day her hairdresser, Sir J. Normand, was in town, Angela Kelly was not available, so neither was the tiara. In Harry's view, this was Kelly being obstructive. According to the book Finding Freedom, Kelly had ignored repeated requests from Kensington Palace to set up a date for a hair trial. And Harry was furious. Nothing could convince Harry that some of the old guard of the palace simply didn't like Meghan, and it would stop at nothing to make her life difficult. He could not think that Meghan was remotely the problem, wrote the book's authors. But there is another version. Let's see what we have here. Well, there is another version that Harry and Meghan were naive at best, entitled at worst, to expect others to jump to their command when they had not even bothered to make an appointment. As a source told the Mail on Sunday, Meghan demanded access to the tiara. She didn't make an appointment with Angela, but said, We are at Buckingham Palace. We want the tiara. Can we have it now, please? Oh, it's a good thing that she said please, by the way. Angela essentially said, I'm very sorry, that's not how it works. There's protocol in place over these jewels. They're kept under very tight lock and key. You can't turn up and demand to have the tiara just because your hairdresser happens to be in town. You spoiled brat. Yeah, as I've said many times, the Queen knew. She knew what was coming. She knew what was coming. What could she do? Lock Harry in the Tower of London? Well, that could have been a nice option. Why not? But, well, whatever. Harry then began ringing others to put pressure on Kelly to ban the rules. And in the course of his less than diplomatic efforts, is said to have used some fairly fruity language. Whether Harry swore at his grandmother's aid or about her is not clear, but she wasn't impressed. She reported all this to the Queen, who summoned Harry to a private meeting. He was firmly put in his place, a source said. He had been downright rude. I don't think Harry liked to be put in his place, not even by his grandmother. I think he was had this huge, resentment growing even to his grandmother, and that's why he was okay with that Oprah interview and everything, blindsiding her with Megxit. It's not surprising by this point. At around the same time, Meghan spoke particularly harshly at a meeting to a young female member of the team in front of her colleagues. After Meghan had pulled to shreds a plan she had drawn up, the woman told Meghan how hard it would be to implement a new one. Don't worry, Meghan told her. If there was literally anyone else I could ask to do this, it will be asking them instead of you. Oh my God, I have to read this. I have to read this a second time. This is painful. I can't imagine this people trying to do things right for Meghan and Harry. Like the courtiers, the aides, everyone trying to make this work for Meghan and Harry, and being treated as this. Because I've been treated like this. I've been had narcissistic bosses. I've been worked with awful people, and I know what this is like. I'm sure that most of you know what this means, how this feels. After Meghan had pulled to shreds a plan she had drawn up, the woman told Meghan how hard it would be to implement a new one. Don't worry. If there was literally anyone else I could ask to do this, I would be asking them instead of you. Class act. What can I tell you? Later, Prince William, who had heard of some of the treatment that she had been subjected to, came to find the woman. I hope you're okay, he told her. You're doing a really good job. She promptly burst into tears. This is sad. So why? I have a question. I have to ask this question. And you know that I'm a fan of the Prince and Princess of Wales. I'm a fan of the Queen. And why wouldn't they make something to stop this? Why wouldn't they make something to stop it? Like they knew that this was trouble. They knew that this was a bad idea. I don't know. I understand. You know, this. It's like free will. Like people can. I don't know. It's not free will. It's not the term that I want to apply here, to say here. It's like you can understand that people could do as they please. Like Meghan and Harry could do as they please, as long as they did not hurt other people, as long as they could respect other people, because, well, they just didn't matter in many terms. Harry was just a spare, and Harry felt like he was a spare. And I've said many times, like he saw this like he was not important. But any other person, I would have seen that as an opportunity. That is great. I'm the spare. I have the opportunity to do good, but I don't have the responsibility of William. That is a great position to have. That's a great position to have. But Harry did not see this. So I think they couldn't do anything about Meghan, because they knew that Harry, in the essence, was also broken. So they could not like execrate Harry. It was not that simple. Or lock him in the Tower of London. It's an idea, but you know, it's maybe too much paperwork. But they knew that Meghan was treating stuff like this. Then why? Because they would claim racism. Yeah, but this is, I agree with you, Patty. Because they would claim racism. So many racist that can't stand a biracial woman marrying to the royal family. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I now I see that. Now I see that if they complain one bit, it will have never looked good in the public procession. And maybe they were waiting for, I don't know, someone to change eventually. Maybe Meghan will have changed eventually. Maybe they could fix things or maneuver things, but no, it was not going to work. On another occasion, when Meghan felt she had been let down over an issue that was worrying her, she ran repeatedly when the staffer was out for dinner on a Friday night. Every 10 minutes, I had to go outside to be screamed at by her and Harry. It was, "I can't believe you've done this. You've let me down. What were you thinking?" It went on for a couple hours. The calls started again the next morning and continued for days. What a pair of pricks, the staffer said. You could not escape them. There were no lines or boundaries. It was last thing at night, first thing in the morning. Relations between the couple and some of their senior staff became so fractious that Miguel had to step in to keep the peace. What can I tell you? There's a lot more in this extract. It goes on and on. We are way over time right now, so I'm going to start reading the super chats. We could keep reading this tomorrow, and I have a couple other insights from another couple articles I want to read and comment tomorrow. But I would like to say what a joke, but this is no joke. We have suffered under the torture of narcissists. You know, so many of you have suffered under narcissist influence, and this is textbook. There's no way around this. No way to deny what's going on. Georgia Peach super chat. I don't know if Georgia, if you said anything else beyond that. Let me see. Why is it empty? No, it's just super chat. All right, thanks for the super chat, Georgia. Thanks for that. Let me highlight that once again. And yes, as Heather whatever is saying also, I was wrong. I blame her for all of it. Takes two to tango and to takes two to tango and to torture too. How about that? Peggy Strictabutsu super chat. Thanks, Peggy. I don't know if you maybe I'm sorry. Probably here. Sometimes I don't know if you maybe you send the super chat and made the mistake to send it empty, and then I'm gonna double check. They both deserve each other. I don't know who is worried, the man child or the D-class actress. They both should be. They both should be. Mary W. Rice super chat. So nice to see and hear you. Thanks, Mary. Blessings to you and yours. I overbought Meghan Markle bashing shirts. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for that. I had to make one Sussex survivor. I'm a Sussex survivor, but it needs a third S. Sussex survivor shirt, for example. I don't know. I will design that. Maybe tomorrow I can get it up and running. Shelly Lewis. I thoroughly enjoy your broadcast. Thanks, Shelly. I enjoy making them. So many of you. 8,000 battle language bodies. That is great. Great. Karen F. Super chat. Are you live every day at 5 p.m. EST? How do we find out? Ontario. I don't know. Let me see. I will be trying, for all of you that are watching live right now and want to know my schedule, I'm thinking about doing regular lives at 10 p.m. London time. I'm gonna make a poll here. Would you be up for daily lives? And 10 p.m. London time is the same time that we started today. So I don't know if that's 5 p.m. EST. If that is your timeline, I'm going to ask my community. You like daily lives? Daily lives at the exact same time, 10 p.m. London time. Let me check out. Let me check out right now. Time zone converter. Or if some of you can check, it's perfect for me. Let me see, time zone converter. It will be 5 p.m. for Toronto, I think. Okay, 10 p.m. London is 5 p.m. Thanks, the real Ram Ram. 10 p.m. London is 5 p.m. EST. Bellatrix, 2 p.m. Azkaban time. Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's do this. I will try. I'm gonna make this test. I'm going to keep doing these lives 10 p.m. London time, 5 p.m. EST, exactly the same time, every single day, Monday to Sunday. Okay, no matter what. Okay, let's do that. That's gonna be my promise. Let's see how this works out. If you are here if you want to watch, I will give you these lives. If it works out, if you don't like the lives, maybe you don't like the long content, maybe you're just dropping by and you don't agree with the lives, you can follow me. You have in the link in the description, you have the link to the Royal Rogue, which is the channel which I will be dropping the clipped versions of these lives. Okay, these lives I will usually talk about 3 topics, then I will cut them without the super chats, without the intro, without all the fluff, and then the rambling, and then just put those clips on the Royal Rogue. So now you're watching right now. Go for the link in the description and just click on and follow me on the Royal Rogue channel. That will be great if you like the short form content too. All right, Migdalia. Paula Migdalia knows 1 week in Venezuela is all Harry needs to fix himself. Communism will fix him. And Maduro died. Yes, greetings from a Venezuelan in Texas, Paisano Jesus. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, we need Harry. We need Harry to visit Venezuela. 1 week is no, we need more. We need 2 or 3 months. Harry will be a new man, a renewed man, an actual man. He become a real man right there. Lottie May Frank, super chat. I think the wife believes rules are for lesser mortals. I agree. That's her attitude. I think that's how she works. Oliver, super chat. The royal family should have hired a body language guy. Well, I'm sorry. I made this joke many times in 2017 and 2018, but the problem is that I was not around on social media in those years. I was in shadow mode and in other projects. I had no social media presence in 2016, 2017, 2018. I reappeared in 2019. Then I came back with social media channels, so I was not around to help the royal family or anyone whatsoever besides my private clients. All right, Little Miss Sunshine. I think it's difficult for Harry to get out from his toxic relationship with Meghan. He realized it too late. She used him to gain more fame, wealth, etc. And maybe he wanted it too. Maybe this is a codependent toxic relationship, and which is cringe enough. Cringe enough. All right, this is interesting. This super chat, Oliver. Meg was a low trust, high time preference person entering a high trust, low time preference society. A predator posing as a house pet. Interesting. Well put, I must say. All right, Bunch House. Thanks, Bunch House, and thanks for being a great mod. Cognitive thinking needs to make a serious comeback. Everyone needs cognitive thinking, critical thinking. Gilly Keynes, I'm going to allow your comment, Gilly, but you know that kind of things. Harry's Diana and Hewitt's son is not a royal. So many things going back and forth on that. I like to entertain that, but for entertainment reasons. But you know, those pictures of Harry and James Hewitt makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder. And there's this the dates of Diana and James Hewitt being her. He was teaching her how to ride horses, because I have to be clear about that. James Hewitt was teaching Diana to ride horses. Okay, horse riding. Please don't take that comment out of context. I know that some of you could take that, cut that comment out of content. Horse riding horses, but well, you know how it is. So many questions. Mary, again, thanks for the super chat, Mary. After reading this, do you reassess your evaluation of the Queen's face in this photo from your other posts? You mean the Queen's face at the wedding? I'm sure that she knew. She was aware of this. She was aware of Meghan's past. You know, all that past. You know, that Scotland Yard and the MI5, MI6, everything must have briefed the Queen on these matters, and the Queen must have said, "Well, I don't know what to say about it." Yeah, you're laughing at the James Hewitt and Diana joke, right? You're still laughing at the James Hewitt. You're naughty. Naughty ladies. You like that kind of jokes. All right. Anywho, Meghan is shallow and refuses to compromise. Both Harry and Meghan, I think, suffer from arrested development for being emotionally stunted. But no, they had enough time to fix things. I'm not gonna give them a pass on that. They had enough time to fix their lives. They did not want to, and they met and they married, and now they are, yes, a force of toxic nature for all the attention that they get. It's sickening. Gender neutral. Hoping King Charles will exile them. That is a nice nickname, gender neutral. Hoping King Charles will exile them. Well, I don't know. They're family. They're still family. He can't do that. Just me, super chat, Sussex Survivor Squad. But I have my doubts, because the word squad is already related to Meg, to nutmeg. I have my doubts about that, but thanks, Just Me, for your super chat. Nahum, thanks on behalf of everyone. Thank you, Nahum. I appreciate your super chat. $20, that's great. Heather, whatever, super sticker, that is great. Thanks for the super sticker. Bunch House. I'm reading Bunch House here. I meant critical thinking in my super chat. I understand. Every single one of us understood your super chat. Okay, Carmencita Tirado, super chat. Don't worry, Carmencita. I'm seeing your other comment right here. I don't know how to include a message with my purchase of super chat loan from Philadelphia. That's great. Thanks, Carmencita. PA? You mean PA is Philadelphia or Pennsylvania? I'm sorry. I just forgot. PA. What I'm sure is that you don't mean Prince Andrew. That's what I'm sure of. PA is Philadelphia or Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania. Thanks, Pennsylvania. Thanks. Philly is PH or PP? I don't remember. Sandra Parrot. Harry necesita aprender a ser un hombre. Sí, por eso necesita el viaje a Venezuela. Por eso necesita el viajecito a Venezuela para que se le quite todo, tú sabes, se le quite todo eso enseguida. Harry needs to learn to be a man, how to be a man. All right, Jedburgh Pier. Amber Heard is grateful the wife has taken the narc crown. Well, I think Amber is coming for a comeback. Amber will do justice soon. I'm sure about that. And Jada will appear and do her thing soon enough too. Well, 83% of you will like Daily Lives at 10 p.m. London time. That is 5 p.m. EST. So who am I to say otherwise? Let's do this. Let's do Daily Lives at 10 p.m. I will have maybe reading articles, maybe talking about topics on the Royals and non-Royals too. And if you want the short version, if you want the clipped material so you can watch later, you can follow me on the Royal Road. You can find the link right in the description of this video. So, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and it was a pleasure for me. We still have more to learn from this excerpt, and that will be tomorrow. And until we meet again tomorrow on tomorrow's live at 10 p.m. London time, 5 p.m. EST. Remember the two most important words: much love and bliss. Take care, my body language buddies, because I love every single one of you. Have a great night, a great day, wherever you are. Bye bye.